if there was a podcast where one NFL legend talked about football? What about two NFL legends? This is Wideout's World, where the gridiron comes alive. NFL legends, Irving Fryar and Michael Timpson, breaking down the game from the ultimate insider perspective. Game recaps, upcoming previews, and exclusive analysis straight from the minds of those who've been in the trenches. Yes. Wideout's World. Let's do it.
Are you ready for some football?
We're ready for some football, baby.
Hey. Welcome, everyone. My name is Michael Timpson. This is Wideout's World. This is my host or co-host, my brother from another, Irving D. Fryar, and you are watching Wideout's World. Welcome, everyone. Appreciate you being here. Well, week 9, my brother.
We're about done. We're
done.
We're halfway through the season. When I say about done, it won't be long, and the doggone season will be over. My goodness, it's just like flying by.
Do you realize it's November? I thought about that today. November. I mean, it went by quick.
We're getting old fast. It's one thing getting old, but it's a whole nother thing getting old fast.
Well, it's fine wine. It's fine wine, man.
Is that what it is?
It's fine wine. Fine wine.
But wine's supposed to take its time.
Well, we're taking our time. We're taking our time.
Well, time ain't taking its time. Time is flying. Time is moving at its own speed, not at our speed. My goodness.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Wideout's World, and so we're here to break down week 9, to give it a good recap, talk about predictions, game analysis, all the good stuff that's NFL related. And so we are going to take the next hour and kind of fill you in from a pro football perspective and give you our thoughts, whether you want them or not. We're going to give them to you. Amen. Amen.
So I'd like to hear it go.
Hey, so before we jump into it, Irv, you told me that you went to the Patriots game. So share with our listeners how that was.
Well, first of all, it's a long drive. I drove up to New England. I mean, it was a twofold purpose in going. I had an autograph session on Saturday that I went to, and then Sunday they put out an email. The Eagles did. And they're one of the few organizations that I play for, one of the 4 organizations that I played for that does things or started doing things for the alumni. The Eagles do a couple of things as well. Right. But they have a room where they invite any of the former players to come. It's free. You can bring 3 or 4 guests. They don't charge you food, drinks, everything. Ticket to the game, little space where you can sit. And not necessarily be disturbed. It's outside where you sit and watch the game. But the place where we have indoors has TVs all over the place. And
it was the really, overhang. Really nice. It was the overhang, right? That you kind of out in the
outdoors, the outside sitting area. Yeah, it was kind of like an overhang. It was on the second level, in the corner of the end zone. Right. Not directly in the end zone, but the corner of the end zone. It was decent seats.
Now, was that your first time back there since they did the new stadium? Or you've gone before?
I've gone before to actually one of those before. We do autograph signing at halftime and got a chance to see some of the former players, Ronnie Lepet and Roland James. I don't know if you remember those.
Of course I do. Ronnie when I went up there, Ronnie Lepet he hang around every weekend, I guess, because he was there when I was there. You don't miss a shot.
And go every week. Yep, they got their own seat. They sit in front of the TV. But it was fun. I got a chance. So I went, my wife and I drove up. But my oldest son, London, you know who London is. And London
I saw the
has
picture.
2 children.
I saw the picture.
Noah's 19 and Olivia is 9. So I got a chance to see them. I hadn't seen them in about 4 years in person. I hadn't seen them in about 4 years. So they came to the game, hung out with us. We drove them back home after the game. Stayed with them for a couple hours after the game, and then we drove back home and got back late last night.
That's good.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good time. Got a chance, just a good time. Got a chance to see my family, my kids, and then also see some of my former teammates.
Now, remember you told me that you was going. You told me to fly down from Orlando, and I told you drove. I ain't getting on no plane right now, man. Things ain't happening right in the airport. I ain't getting on no plane.
Well,
You
you're right. I'll
understand?
be in Florida. I'll be down. I understand, but I'll be in Miami. I'm flying to Miami next week. This
So
weekend.
you're a better man than me. I ain't getting on no plane right now.
Well, I'm covered. I'm gonna pray and ask for God's protection.
Well, God's
in
giving
the
me
air
wisdom.
and on the ground.
God's giving me wisdom.
God
Don't
give
get
you
on no
wisdom.
plane.
God said, "Don't fly, Mike.
Don't fly."
But no, good game. Listen, the pay. We'll talk about this, I'm sure, in a little bit. But the Patriots should have lost that game.
Yeah.
Lost that. They were farting around, and Drake May he's all that. They have him touted, in the MVP conversation right now as maybe like the second quarterback behind who's the cat from Buffalo? I'm just
Allen.
Josh Allen. Behind Josh Allen. Josh Allen's number one. They got him touted to be back-to-back MVPs this year.
Okay.
But Drake May is balling, man. I was watching him yesterday, and he can play. He can play. He is legitimate. He throws a really good ball.
Yeah.
He has good instincts. He carries himself on the field in a manner where, a lot of times quarterbacks, particularly younger quarterbacks, will get in a panic mode when pressure is put on them on a consistent basis. But, man, he seems to be pretty cool and pretty level-headed in the pocket and doesn't seem to, rush when he's making the decision or make crazy decisions out of a panic. He could be the truth, man. He really could. He's a good, solid quarterback. I didn't know that until I do a podcast up there as well. So I did some research on the team.
Okay.
And I saw some of his stats and watched a little bit of his games. And man, he's the truth. That's why Diggs is doing well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good stuff, man. Okay. Hey, it's funny when you talk. Well, I'll touch base on that because I'm going to ask you something. All right. So NFL news. Let's go ahead and touch that off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, I'm watching the ticker over here. Happy birthday, Eddie Casper. It's his birthday. So tell him happy birthday, Irv.
Happy birthday, brother. Billy Bell told Eddie Casper, happy birthday to you, Mr. Casper.
So NFL news, Irv. What you got? I got some good ones for you.
I don't only have one.
Okay.
I only have one. And that is the firing of the GM at the Dolphins. I said a few weeks ago that it would be the head coach that he needed to go.
Yeah, you did.
And I think it's just a matter of time before McDaniel. And I'm kind of the same mindset as Stephen A. Smith. I think I did hear Stephen A. Smith say this. Listen, get rid of all of them. If you're going to make a change, if you're going to make a statement, seriously, if you're going to make a change, because McDaniels, it's not just Greer's fault. Yeah, Greer did hire McDaniels. Yes, Greer did hire Flores. Yes, Greer did hire Adam Gase. I guess his last name is how you say his name, Gase or Gaze. There's in his time there in those 9.5 seasons that Greer's been there, he's gone through 3 head coaches. He's hired 3 different head coaches. So he can't make up his mind either. And things, for all 3 coaches, things went well the first year or the second year. Then after that, they had 2-3 losing seasons, and it just went downhill. Now, he did make some good draft picks. You got, quarterback, you got receiver, then you got the cheetah, and they got Waddle. He was a part of all that.
Okay.
But
so does that balance it out?
No, it doesn't balance it out because they're not playing well. And it's not his fault that they're not playing well. Tua is his pick, obviously, but it's not Greer's fault that Tua is not panning out right now. It's not Greer's fault that the cheetah got hurt, that Tyreek got hurt. It's not Greer's fault, and Waddle is stepping up to the plate, but Waddle can only do as much as Tua allows him to do.
So how much are you going to attribute that to McDaniel, though? How much are you going to attribute that to him?
I'm moving, and that's where I'm going with this. I'm moving all of that on the shoulders of the coach. It's McDaniels. It's McDaniel.
I disagree only because you know as well as I do.
Like some of these coaches that come in with these new systems or these new philosophies, and they have a good year or two, and then they're smoking the wind. They're gone.
But coaches coach, players play. You know that.
I understand that.
So you gotta spread the blame, if you will. You can't put it solely on McDaniel.
Okay. Remember I told you about Vic Fangio last week.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Vic Fangio was down there with that defense.
Right.
Matter of fact, I think we just got one of the defensive players
You did.
down there.
You
Did. The Eagles did. Couldn't do anything with them. It wasn't the coach, like you said, it was the players. But he is a great coach. He is a great coach because he came to Philadelphia and went to the Super Bowl with the number one defense.
You got different pieces, though. You got different pieces.
Different pieces, but the same philosophy.
But you still got
Same
different
philosophy.
pieces.
They didn't buy into his teaching. And that's the head coach's job.
Okay.
If the players aren't responding, it's the head coach's job to get them to respond. So if it's a matter of him not being a good coach, or if it's a matter of him not being with the right people that will respond to him, either way, he's got to go.
Okay. Well,
because they do the day-to-day things. You know that.
Right.
The coaches handle the day-to-day stuff. The GMs, they handle the signings and paying them the money and stuff like that. After that, they're done.
Okay. Same thing with the coach, though. I'm just giving you the other side that you know better than anybody. Mm-hmm. The coaches can only coach up until the kickoff. After that, the coaching's done for the most part.
I understand.
So you got to spread this around a little bit, because McDaniel's not out there throwing picks. McDaniel's not out there getting hosed up for running through the defense. That's not McDaniel.
But let's take Vic Fangio again and Zach Bond. When Zach Bond was down, and the coaches have to recognize the weakness and the strengths of their players and put the players in a position to do what they do best more times than not.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Zach Bond was never off the line linebacker. And now Vic Fangio puts him in a place because he recognized what he could do. And now in one season, Zach Bond becomes an all-pro.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Player by player, does Philadelphia have better defensive players than Miami?
I would say so, yes.
There you go. That's the difference. In my opinion, that's the difference.
But you still got to coach him.
I agree.
You still got to coach him.
But you can only coach them so far. If you either got the dogs or you don't.
Okay. Let me give you an example of me. Okay. When I was in New England, 9 years, I went back and looked at my numbers. And, I was catching 30 balls a year, 40 balls a season.
You never had the quarterback. We've already talked about this. So that's
exactly my point. I never had the coaching either. Okay. When I first got to New England, Mike, I had never stood in front of a cornerback and ran a route. I was a wingback.
Okay.
And my coach never taught me how. I learned by watching everybody else. My coach never said, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to leverage. This is what you need to be thinking. This is how you need to. He never sat me down and said, this is how you need to run routes. This is how you need to use your strength. This is how what you need to do with your feet. Never said any of that. I learned what I learned, even when I got to Miami, watching other receivers.
Okay, so now to your point.
So it was bad coaching, but when I got to Miami, they coached me up.
Okay,
9 years into the league, man.
So let's go back to the coach part. Okay, let's say you have the greatest coach ever. If you don't have somebody throwing that pill, a la Dan Marino, it doesn't matter whether you got the coaching or not. That's my point. It's not strictly on the coach. He has to have the tools in place in order to put it all together so you can have productive offense or defense or special teams. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, well, let me say it like this then. Yeah,
well, you can say it however you want to say it.
No, let me say it like this. You fire the GM, you fire the head coach. That puts everybody on notice. That means players and coaches. Everybody's on notice. We cleaning house. We're starting over.
I just think he did it. He didn't clean house like you wanted, but I think he's going to clean house. That's just a little snippet of what he's going to do.
But that's exactly, and everybody knows that. Everybody is kind of anticipating that. What you waiting for? They're not getting to the playoffs this year. What you waiting for? What you gonna wait for?
Would you think that sometimes
they're already getting rid of players because they know they're not going anywhere this year. So what you waiting for? Clean house. If you don't clean house, get a head start.
Well, that owner doesn't seem to be like that. I know what you're saying because that's typically what happens. And sometimes there's even a bigger drop off when they get rid of everybody and you have an interim coach. So it all depends on the owner, really. All right, so here's my news. You know I'm sick of this. Let me tell you what I'm sick of.
What you sick of?
Travis Hunter. Now he's on IR for 4 weeks.
I know.
Because the doggone ACL. Now.
Yep.
They
it happened in practice, didn't it?
It happened in practice. It was a non-contact injury. But you and I both know at some point he was going to peter out. Or an injury.
What I said too. Yeah.
And so I feel bad about it because we talked about this, man, and everybody, they got so enamored with this whole two-way things, and now the guy's hurt, and it may be longer than 4 weeks. Right. He may not come back, because of the sensitivity of the knee, and it depends on extra testing to see how the extent of the damage. Can you imagine if he is seriously hurt, slight tear or something in his ACL?
It could be.
It could be.
I mean, it could be. And this goes, as we have said, you and I both, this goes back, not just this season, him playing both ways, because he didn't play all the plays on both sides, but he played both ways. But this goes back, this is a build-up from college.
Yeah.
From all those plays. I mean, he was playing 100 plays in college. Good gosh, a game, and doing it week in and week out.
Yeah.
So this is a fallout from that. No doubt in my mind.
So hopefully they learn their lesson. If he's healthy enough to continue, shelve him the rest of this year, and let's start this over next year, and put him on one side, and just give him. Everybody give him a package. We're not saying don't play him, but not exclusively on one side or the other. If you're going to do that, just give him a package on the opposite side. That's all.
Right.
So
and change it up every week. Package of 4 or 5 plays. Yeah.
So here's the other thing too. That's not even news, but it was noteworthy. That brother from Jacksonville kicked a 68-yard field goal. Yeah, I never thought I'd see that. 68 yards.
Haven't they changed the footballs for the kickers?
Well, you and I are not kickers, so we wouldn't even know.
I was told, I heard something at one point, like they have different balls for the kickers.
They may have.
So it gives them a better chance of kicking the ball farther. But 68 yards is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Good for him though.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Good for him. Good for the sport. So I was pleased to watch that a few times.
Let me ask you this. I want to ask you a question because you'll know about this as much as I would. So if you're a player, let's say you're a receiver, and you probably know who I'm talking about. You're a receiver. You're in the NFL, and you have a season. You're playing well. But then you have hamstring problems towards the latter part of the season, and you miss a few games, all right? And then you go and you do happen to get back in, get in the playoffs, go win the Super Bowl. Come to training camp. I'm talking about in 2025. Now you come to training camp after that season. So in July, February, win the Super Bowl. July, you come to training camp. In this type of training camp, and then you're at training camp for a few days, and then you have hamstring problems again. Now you're missing practice in today's training camp because of your hamstring.
Right.
Season starts. You go 5-6 games. Now you're having hamstring problems again. Okay. And you're missing games. What would you say to that?
Well, chronic is the word. And chronic.
Yep.
Not chronic, not chronic Snoop Dogg chronic.
Right. Listen, you're the only person that I've heard besides me say that. I'm like, can't y'all see this is writing on the wall? There's a red flag here. This is because y'all who are listening right now, if me as a receiver, as Mike as a receiver, if we have hamstring issues, latter part of the season, okay, we make it through the playoffs, we deal with it, Super Bowl. Whatever I'm doing that off season, I'm addressing that hamstring problem.
Acupuncture, chiropractor, masseuse.
I'm going to make sure it's strong, whether it's from acupuncture to lifting weights to outrunning on the track. I'm going to make sure that hamstring is not a problem the following season.
Yeah. But
then you come to training camp, and today's training camps are not like the training camps we went through, Mike.
Right.
They don't do a whole lot of doggone running. And then have a hamstring problem like that. And then now it's 6, 7 games into the season and you're missing games again.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds too big flag. A.J. Brown could have a chronic hamstring issue.
Okay. Well, we're going to find out.
You said, yep. You said the same. We're going to find out.
So let's go to our top wide receivers. So this is going to be interesting because well, the tight ends are killing us. The tight ends are killing us.
Yeah, I know the tight ends.
Week in and
I
week
couldn't
out.
pick tight ends. Yeah, but that's the way the game is now. You know, and tight ends, they're just like big receivers.
Yeah.
You know, they're bigger, they're stronger, not as fast, but they're just as mobile, I should say, as the receivers. They're able to find holes. They're able to catch the ball, acrobatic catches, and run after the catch in a more violent way because they're bigger.
Right. Because, I mean, gone are the days where tight ends are just blockers. Those days are long gone.
Yeah.
You know,
but that just like that tight end for the Bears caught that ball. Boy, that was bad. Caught that ball with middle field and scored a winning touchdown.
Yeah.
That game was crazy. Tight ends.
All right. So your top wide receivers. Give me your top wide receivers.
My number 3 is Jackson Smith Nigba from the Seahawks. They just killed Washington. I couldn't even watch any more of that game. Washington looked like, oh my gosh, like a deer in headlights. They just were done. My gosh. And then when Daniels got hurt, they really looked lost. They just looked lost. It was they are done. At this point last year, 9 games to the season, they were 7-2. And now they 3-6 without the quarterback. And they talking about him coming back after a few weeks. That's dumb. But Jackson, 38-14 win over Washington. 8 receptions, 9 targets, 129 yards, no touchdown.
Didn't get in the end zone.
That's why he's number 3. That's why he's number 3 on my list. 16.1 yard average, 5 first downs, and he had a 26-yard long one. This is his 4th straight game. That's why he's on here too. 4th straight game with over 100 yards receiving. And the 6th time, this is his 6th game out of the 8 starts this season that he's gotten 100 yards, over 100 yards. He's got 58 so far this season, 9 games in or 9th week, 58 catches, 948 yards, and 4 touchdowns. First round draft choice 2023 out of Ohio State. Jackson Smith, Nick, but he's my number 3 this past week. And then 2 was T. Higgins. First of all, I felt bad for the Bengals because, I just felt bad, particularly for the offense. We don't point fingers. We don't do that. But doggone it, defense, come on, really? Come on, tackle the guy. Come on.
Trying to shoulder bump him.
They only had 2 plays.
Yeah.
They did a good job, and Caleb had to run the first. They only had 1 more play.
Yeah.
And boom. Can you believe that in the middle of the field? Anyway, I felt bad for the Bengals, and I was watching Jamar Chase on the sidelines. He looked like he was about ready to die. 47-42 versus the Bears. They lost. 7 receptions, 9 targets, 121 yards, 2 TDs, 17.3 yard average, 44 long, and 6 first downs. He had a big 44-yard TD going down the left side with 2 minutes left in the first half, and a 2-yard catch just over 5 minutes in the third quarter, and a big 2-point conversion. That was a 2-point conversion grab with under 2 minutes remaining, and he's playing good. You know, he's robbing. He doesn't complain. He's another Devontae Smith. He's a great athlete. He could possibly be a starter. I don't think he could just go be a starter on any team, but he's good enough to be a starter. But he plays a great role with Jamar Chase. My number 1 is Drake London. Listen, I was watching this cat.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was that good.
Yeah. I
was watching him live. He's a big body. They lost, obviously, to the Patriots. They should have won that game. They really should have. 9 receptions, 14 targets. Listen, he had 9 receptions, 14 targets, 118 yards, 3 TDs, 13.1 yard average, 8 first downs, and he had a 40-yard long ball.
On the sideline.
All the other receivers for Atlanta combined only combined for 3 targets in the in the rest of the game. He got all the balls thrown to him, man.
Wow.
He boxed out a guy and got his first touchdown. Real nice, put his big body on him. Then he high pointed, caught it. They were different. Then he went up high and high pointed the ball, caught the ball at the highest point for his second touchdown. Then they had that one-hander, the last one. That was his third one. And that was, right before they missed the doggone extra point that kind of sunk the ship for him. But he's impressive.
Yeah.
Watching him, and when we watch somebody, we know talent knows talent. You know a player when you see another player. Just watching him on the field and him running and the body type that he has, man. I didn't know that he was like that. He's got it going on like that. He's a force to be reckoned with. Particularly, they throw him the ball all the time. They only threw the ball 3 other places in that whole game. All the rest of them went to him.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, Irv, that's a good list because it's identical to my list.
It's identical?
It's identical. Identical, man.
Well, good minds, great minds,
man.
Think alike.
So I'll give you a couple of points on most of them because you hit everything, and those reasons are the reasons why my list is the same as yours. In Jigba, I mean, I think he's benefiting a lot from Sam Darnold. I mean, Sam Darnold. I mean, he is just out of this world. I mean, he was 23 for 23 at one point. I mean, he was perfect throwing that ball.
Yeah. First half.
Yeah. So he's being the beneficiary of that. Didn't get in the end zone, but that's okay. He makes things happen, and so he's their go-to guy. Number 2, T. Higgins. I was wondering what was happening with Chase because I'm like, okay, T. Higgins, but Chase quietly got his 100 yards, and he did what he's supposed to do. But the fact that they lost that game, I was surprised. I was surprised because they were doing everything offensively that they were supposed to do. So T. Higgins, the 2 touchdowns, I mean, he's a beast. I mean, one of them, he strong-handed and just caught the ball off the top of the DB's back. He's just, like you say, he can do a lot more if he was the number 1 receiver. But any other team, he's number 1 and he's getting all those looks. So he's the beneficiary.
Right.
The number 1, Drake London, I've watched him, maybe several games because
that's
Tampa
my first time
played them.
Him, man.
Yeah, I've liked him, man. Just the games that I've been able to see because they happen to be on down here in Orlando. He is a big, about 6'4", 215. He gets it done, man. The one left-hand TD, and then he had the high point, the 9 catches for 118 yards. But he does this week in and week out. So I really like him. And the 3 touchdowns is nothing to sneeze at. I just wish, and you had mentioned this on one of our prior shows, the inconsistency with this young quarterback, Phoenix. Penix. Once that gets going, and the run game, it was non-existent this game, which was a surprise to me, and which is part of the reason why they lost. But he was my number 1, right along with you, Drake London.
But they were still in that game, man, down to the wire. They never got the Patriots never got too far ahead. It was a good back and forth, and they really, that's why we would always have the saying, never leave the game
in the kicker's hand.
In the kicker. They're gonna let you down every time. Because they don't put in the work like the rest of us. They don't, or I should say, they don't work in unity with the rest of us. Offensive, defense, we are together, banging together, competing against one another while the kicker's over there on the other field kicking the ball. He's not developing unity and doesn't build the cohesiveness that we all have, even though we're all playing offense or defense.
We used to joke all the time how much film work they be putting in. They be in there playing Nintendo.
Yeah.
Or Xbox.
Going to the golf course. Doggone kickers.
All right, Eric.
But like we said last week, he might have been on the take.
That's true. So
he might have been on the take.
So we can give some shout outs. Do you see him on your end that you can give some shout outs?
Oh, you don't see him?
I do. I was just, paying my dues to the elder.
Oh Lord, have mercy. I see Richard Melton. I see, what's that, 19? Is that Eddie Casper, okay, that's Eddie Casper. Billy Bell, Eddie Casper, Richard Melton. My mother is on. Hey, mama.
Hey, mama.
Dawn is on. I see Dawn at the top. She's number 1.
All right.
And that's all I can see right now.
Okay. All right, cool.
Billy Bell said he's coming to Dolan's tomorrow. I'm doing my show tomorrow with Hollis Thomas, vetted at Dolan's. We do it every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Billy Bell said he's going to be there tomorrow.
What kind of place is Dolan's? What kind of place is it? Is it a pub? Is that a pub?
It's a pub. Yeah, it's a pub. Yeah. It's owned by
know what a pub is, man. Everybody don't know what a pub is.
Dolan's in Delco. It's owned by the mayor.
What?
Yeah, PJ Dolan.
We got to go check the books, man. The mayor got a pub?
Yes, he got a pub. He was a pub owner. It's second generation pub owner. Okay. Might be third generation pub owner. Third generation pub owner, and now he just became the interim mayor.
We got to go check the books, man. I don't know what y'all up there doing.
Check the books. It's a legitimate business.
That's what they all say. All right. So let's go with the Vikings at Detroit. I can't wait to tell you about this one because this was a surprise.
Yeah, it was a surprise.
Yeah.
Particularly after, the Eagles just got finished mopping up the Vikings, and the Vikings go into Detroit. I mean, they did. The Eagles manhandled them. They physically beat them, just like they've been physically beat by the Giants a few games ago. But they went to Minnesota and, handled the Vikings. And then now here the Vikings go to Detroit, and Detroit is supposed to be rolling. Yeah. We saw them the last couple of weeks, man. Their running game was just out of control. And everybody's touting them, and they're like, okay, they're separating themselves from the rest of the teams in the league, but not, because they're only 5-3 right there in the run.
Yeah.
And the Vikings wins 27-24. Flores, his defense held the Detroit Lions, the two-headed monster, to 65
Man, that was
yards.
ridiculous. That was ridiculous. They couldn't run the ball.
65 yards, 20 carries, and made them one-dimensional, right? It took away the run. It was great. It made them one-dimensional, and they pressured Jared Goff. And this is his history. Goff just doesn't do well when he's pressured on a consistent basis. They pressured him. They had 30 pressures. 30 quarterback pressures. 3 out of 4 times, or three and out 4 times, and forced a fumble. So this was about the defense. The Vikings controlled the line, and that's where it starts, the line of scrimmage on offense and on defense. And they even won the special teams battle because they had a blocked field goal. And they did this on the road. So that's what it was about, And then you had J.J. McCarthy. He didn't play. They didn't have to worry about not Busta Rhymes. I was calling Busta Rhymes.
No, you didn't go all the way to Busta Rhymes. No, you did not.
I wasn't going.
No, you didn't go all the way to Busta Rhymes.
I was going to call him. I'm not going to call him Busta Rhymes. But what's his name? The guy
who you talking
from the Eagles, man?
Huh?
Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and finish the story. I don't know where you're going with this. Huh?
Well, I'm saying J.J. McCarthy was quarterback, and Carson Wentz wasn't the quarterback.
Right.
Carson Wentz was the quarterback against the Eagles. So J.J. McCarthy, they got enough of him. They put J.J. McCarthy in.
He's well, so he was able to play. McCarthy.
Okay, he had some scary moments, but he dropped some dimes. Got a little scary at times. Had a few overthrows, underthrows, but a couple of miscommunications in the backfield. But 3rd and 5, minute and 41 remaining. They were up 3 points. He threw a beautiful ball, back shoulder to Naylor, and they iced the game. Yep. Iced the game. Goff folded under the pressure. Period. He just doesn't do well when he's pressured, and that's what happened in the playoffs when they got to the playoffs last year. He just doesn't do well when he gets pressured on a consistent basis, and you can limit that running game. If you can take some of that running game away, he will not beat you throwing the ball. He's got to be able to do play action.
You know what, Irv? I think you're hitting on something, and it's something certainly to watch as the rest of the season unfolds. Because looking at his track record, you may be very well be that's what it is. That's the problem. Because here's the thing with me with Detroit. Detroit is coming off the bye. They whooped up on Tampa. They beat Tampa 24-9, and Tampa was smoking. And all of a sudden, Detroit whooped up on them, and Detroit now you're coming off a bye week, and you're giving this type of performance at home. You know, you got everything in your favor. A bye week, you know what the coaches do in a bye week. They're scouting the week before, so they give them 2 weeks to prepare for who they're going to play coming out of the bye, and then to go out and do that. So Detroit, for me, very inconsistent, particularly down the stretch. I don't know which Detroit's going to show up, so that has me concerned because I'm a big Dan Campbell fan. I like everything about Detroit. Love the receivers, but it's just the inconsistency. Now, here's the problem that bothers me.
But Mike, let me hold that thought. But isn't that, at least this season, haven't we seen a lot of that with teams where you don't know which team's going to show up?
But wait a minute. But to your point, you said this last week. Now it's time to separate the wheat from the tare. I mean, you got to separate. The good teams start separating themselves. So we're expecting Detroit to be a good team, one of the better teams to start separating themselves. You know, and you got a second-year quarterback that comes in there and toasts you. So here's the thing. Detroit abandoned the run too early for me. When you talk about that two-headed monster, Gibbs and Montgomery, come on. 9 carries.
They ran the ball 20 times.
And they got jacked. Nothing.
They got behind, so they couldn't wait any longer.
Well, but they were never that far behind to totally abandon it. To me, they just totally abandoned it. Montgomery, there's a reason why Montgomery doesn't play as much as Gibbs. He fumbles a lot, so he had a costly fumble. Then they had the blocked field goal. 10 penalties. Now you know he's gonna crack the whip this week. Sack golf 5 times. So here's the Vikings. Vikings in that division. They're sitting at 4-4 right now, and guess what? Detroit's tied with Chicago at 5-3. That's going to be a real tight division. Green Bay 5-2, looking beatable. The way Green Bay looked with them ugly uniforms. So the whole NFC North is very inconsistent. So it's anybody's game. It all depends who's going to straighten this out down the stretch to be more consistent. And right now, I couldn't tell you who's going to do it in the NFC North. I mean, you might look at the Vikings and say, you know, they're going to straighten this out and be the top in the NFC North. I'm not sure right now because there's a lot of inconsistency.
Well, here's the other thing too that sometimes for me I think is a factor. You mentioned it earlier that Detroit had come off a bye. You know, I think that more times than not, teams coming off a bye in today's football games, they come out and don't do as well. You would think they would come out sharp, come out ready to play. You got 2 weeks of rest, so to speak, and you got 2 weeks of preparation for a team that you already know is coming up on. But for some reason, a lot of these teams, the players, aren't focused as if they had just continued playing through and not had that bye. They kind of get off track a little bit. And you got to understand these are young cats like we were in their 20s and early 30s, but mostly 20s. And sometimes it's easy for them to get a little off track. You know, when you get out of your routine and having to be at the stadium or having to be at your practice facilities Monday and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and you only had that one day, Tuesday off. But now you got a couple of days off. Guys get out of focus.
But wait, Irv, to your point, think back. A couple of weeks ago, the Chiefs came off a bye, and they whooped up on whoever they played. This is prior to the Bills. So
and Andy Reid is old school.
There you go.
Andy Reid's old school. Yeah,
part of that's coaching.
Andy Reid's old school.
There you go. So it's not all of them. I mean, there's some that don't come out of it.
I said more than not. But most of the teams more teams than not, when they come off the bye, they even if they win, they start off those games shaky.
That's true. I
as if it didn't help them, but it literally hurt them.
Yeah.
And for me, when we were playing and they started putting buys in the season, I never liked the buy. Even if I had an injury or something like that, I prefer to keep on going because we got a rhythm going.
Right.
And now we got to stop for
whether it be a good rhythm or a bad rhythm. You got a rhythm.
Well, bad ain't a rhythm. That's bad's a wreck. It's not rhythm. That's all beat.
So, all right. So the Chiefs at the Bills. That was the second game, and this one was interesting as well. So I'll let you start.
The Bills defense. I think they put their best performance on the field this year thus far, beating the Chiefs. They held Patrick Mahomes, and this is the first time it happened in his career. He passed for less than 50% of his percentage.
Yeah.
Passing percentage. That's never happened to him, and they sacked him 3 times. And they made the defense for the Bills made timely plays. So I wrote a few of them down. Christian Belford's TD saving tackle before halftime. That saved 4 points. Instead of getting 7, they only got 3. Cole Bishop had a tackle for a loss and a pass breakup on back-to-back plays. Joey Bosa had a critical sack in the fourth quarter, right? Remember that? The Bills allowed 4th and 17. It was a completion because that's what Patrick Mahomes does. A 4th and 17 completion and a TD and a 2-point conversion that made it a 7-point game. Right. And Mahomes in his hand with a chance to win the game. But the rookie, Hairston, got his first NFL interception. And then he also he picked off that deep throw, and then just over 4 minutes left, then he knocked down Mahomes' final pass. He knocked down the last pass. So the defense just rose up, and the Chiefs' defense couldn't keep up. They just couldn't keep the Bills enough under control so Mahomes could get himself together to get the ball down the field into the end zone. They couldn't keep up. Bills offense, 7 of 12 on third down, 3 red zone. KC had gone 27 straight games, including the playoffs, without allowing 100 yards with a rusher. James Cook broke 100 yards.
Yeah.
So it was a game of defense. The Bills defense was able to do what they needed to do, rise to the occasion, and keep Patrick Mahomes under control. But the Chiefs defense wasn't able to keep up.
Right.
They weren't able to handle what the Bills were throwing at them and try to make it, a game where it would give their quarterback an opportunity to win the game for them, like what normally happens with the Chiefs.
Okay. So here's another team that teases you. The Bills tease you. I'm like, okay, which Bills is going to be?
The Chiefs too.
I'm like, really? I mean, to see Josh Allen. I mean, he was 23 of 26. I mean, you missed 3 balls. 3 passes, 273 yards. He had the touchdown, the 2 touchdowns. One of them, the number 64, carried him in the end zone. That's why I don't like that pushing the tush and all that crap. I mean, the guy basically picked him up and carried him in the end zone.
At one point, you weren't able to aid the runner.
All that's changed, man. All that's out the window.
You couldn't aid the runner. You couldn't push him. You couldn't grab him and pull him. You couldn't do that kind of stuff.
Go back and look at 64. Literally just got in front, got behind, and just kind of.
I know, yeah.
So here's the thing with that. Mahomes didn't have his magic. I mean, I think everybody that looks at a game that's close expecting Mahomes to come with some magic and pull him out. But the Bills, they harassed him all day. Defense. I mean, he was running around with his hair on fire the whole night. His the line for Kansas City did not play well. When you talked about Bosa beat up that rookie, the rookie first-round pick.
On the left-hand side, left tackle.
Josh Simmons beat him up.
But that's where they focused on both of the tackles. They focused on both of the offensive tackles.
But see, that's the reason why they spent first-round money on that left tackle, so he can stop that. But not tonight, not that night.
Well, he has played better. He has played better. But again, Bosa just had his number.
Oh yeah. And so you had mentioned it, 3 of 13 on third down. That was the problem right there. 3 of 13. The Chiefs, I mean, they couldn't convert. And so when you talk about
that's not normal.
The Bills, I like the fact they're tight end again, Kincaid. But here's the thing that really did it for me. When you talked about the Chiefs are finesse. The Bills, blue collar. Straight blue collar. You know, they get in there with Andy Reid. They get all nice. They put the receiver in the backfield, and they do the triple reverse. The Bills were just doing this. The Bills were just hitting them. Boom, boom, every single time. Here's the thing. 15 quarterback hits on Mahomes. They hit him 15 times. So when you talk about the Bills Mafia, that's all he saw was the Mafia coming after him. He was running, throwing the ball, and just ducking and trying to get out the way. So hats off to the Bills. You know, the Mafia showed up. And and now here's the thing. I'll leave you with this question. Will they play like that when it matters? Because they're 0-for. Like the Bills of old. They're 0-for against the Chiefs in the playoffs.
Yep.
So, you know, we know that Bills have a tendency, playoffs, Super Bowls.
Right.
All right.
I think they're 5-1 against the Chiefs, they're 5 wins, 1 loss against the Chiefs in regular season, but they're 0-for-4 against the Chiefs in the playoffs.
Yeah. That was not in the 80s, Richard Mel talking about that was the 80s. That was not in the 80s. This is now.
oh, that's right. We're talking about Richard's team.
Yeah. This is now that they're not winning against them in the playoffs. What are you talking about?
This is the current current era of time.
Then he tells that you can't push forward. You know what I mean? They're carrying him in the end zone. I don't care how you push, pull,
you push him from behind, you push him forward. Either way, you're pushing him in the direction he's trying to go, and he's gaining more yards. That used to be, I mean, it used to be illegal. You could not push the player as his teammate. You could not push him forward if he had the ball. You could not pull him forward. You could not aid him in any capacity other than blocking someone else, an opponent, for him to clear the way.
Well, I expect
the rules.
The homer to be the homer. But we're going to find out. We're going to find out. All right, Irv, what you think? So Sunday night, Seattle went to Washington. Seattle went to Washington. Now, you here I'm going to start this one off. I think Washington's cursed. Let me tell you why I think Washington's cursed.
You said it with a straight face, too.
I think Washington's cursed, Irv. You think back to the most recent quarterbacks. Their quarterbacks just don't last, man. And I'm looking at this.
Should they go back to calling them the Redskins?
Man, that might be the ticket. That might be why they're cursed.
No, because Joe Theismann got his leg broke.
Well, that's true, too. That's right. So you start thinking, I'm looking, I'm like, okay, these quarterbacks, man, they don't last. Something's going on. You know, they're on Indian burial ground or something. Something's going on, man. I'm telling you. So I looked at the game, and I mean, he was 38-7, beginning the fourth quarter. Now, Dan Quinn, being a defensive guy, I was surprised because I'm like, you're a defensive guy. You're obviously not spending a lot of time with the defense. So I'm not sure what's going on with his defense. He's a defensive guy, you know? And so he's taking the blame. He's saying he left in Jaden Daniels too long. You know,
of course he did.
Well, that's hindsight is always 20/20. Here's the thing.
Of course.
You know as well as I do, if he had not gotten hurt, nobody would have said that he left him in too long.
Exactly.
I kind of agree with the fact he hadn't played. I don't agree with the play that was called, the RPO. Right. And that he has the option to run. Yes.
That's what everybody, just hand the ball off, you know.
Exactly. But at the same time,
hand the ball off.
When you call an RPO, you're leaving it up to him to read it and do how he reads it. Right. So that part I don't quite agree with for sure. But I just don't know how this guy's going to last, man, because every time he runs, I mean, because he's rail thin, and we were concerned about that before. Is he going to last? Now, this is his second year. Yeah, this is his second year. The injuries are starting to creep up, and they don't go away as you get older, as we all know.
Yep.
You know?
He's not going to last because if he has not learned in this short period of time, this is his second year, if he has not learned how to get down or how to play smarter as a quarterback, or the fact that, you're the quarterback and you're like the man who needs to be on the field because you're the starter and you're the one who's running it. We depend on you. We need to have you. So, yeah, there's times when you need to give up the ghost, fall down, lay down, just because it's more important that you're on the field, making the calls and handing the ball off and throwing the ball. It's more important than that, than getting one or two. That's more important than getting 1 or 2 more yards.
Yeah.
And I think you're right, man, because this one's I thought his arm broke.
Yeah.
But thank God it was just a dislocated elbow. I mean, that's not a good thing either, but.
And it's his non-throwing.
It's his non-throwing hand or arm, but they're talking about him coming back this season. I'm like, no, he's not. He's not coming back this season. What are you, crazy?
Boy, his mama will be on the field. If they bring him back, his mama going to be on the field.
It doesn't look good. Let me say it that way. Based on the history or his history in the league in this short period of time that he's been in the league, just a 1 season and a half, it doesn't look good. Yeah. He got hurt some last year, hurt again this year, out a couple of times already, and now he's out for the rest of the season. But in the game, again, before he got hurt, the Commanders had already looked demolished, beaten, subdued. They looked like they had given up and just didn't have an answer or clue. Like I said earlier, this time last year they were 7-2, now they're 3-6. Yeah, total opposite. But they came up against the buzzsaw, and Sam Darnold, man, had his greatest game ever, probably. I mean, he had in the first half, 4 touchdown passes in the first half.
4.
Yeah, he had every ball he threw got caught in the first half.
Yeah,
every ball. There was no incompletes in the first half. He had a perfect quarterback score, 158.3. How did they come up with that anyway? 158.3 rating in the first. It scored on each of their 5 possessions. And the only little bad thing about it was the last possession, they got a field goal. The whole game, he was 21-24, 330 yards.
So let me ask you a question.
And they look like zombies, man. The
but
Commanders
you know what?
look like zombies.
They have been off or out of sync at the very beginning of the year. They've been out of sync. In some way, you know, the
Commanders?
The Commanders.
Well, he's out again too. McLaurin's out again.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's almost as though they just shouldn't even started the season because it's been off. So let me ask you a question: if you were to pick a MVP quarterback, is Sam Darnold in your conversation
right now?
Yeah. Josh. Sam, Stafford, MVP quarterback.
That cat from New England is playing Drake May.
Okay.
He's playing his stats. The only one who's playing, his stats are just as good as everybody else. Let me put it that way. He's like in the top 2 with the stats, and I didn't know that either.
Okay.
But just from the eye test, Sam's right there, man. You can't. If they were to pick Sam right now, you can't argue with it.
Because Sam put up these kind of numbers when he was with the Vikings.
Yeah.
Which that's why it was surprising that they did, say, hey, that's okay. We're not going to resign you.
Right.
So
I was surprised. So he's proven that he is a formidable quarterback because he did it in multiple places.
And I'm pulling for him because I ain't like what they did in Minnesota too. I'm pulling for him.
Yeah, Minnesota treated him bad.
Because you remember now, he started with the Jets. Didn't he start out with the Jets?
Yeah. He was going. We thought he was going to be a journeyman.
Yeah. Yeah. So
thought he was going to be a journeyman, but he's a good quarterback, and he went off against Washington in Washington. All came all the way across the country and rained on their parade.
So sure you know enough. What? Speaking of Washington, I was curious. Their defense, how bad their defense was. They're the 28th. They're right. I don't know who's worse, Dallas's defense or their defense. They're right next to each other.
Dallas is 31.
28, 29, or 30 or so. They're all
Dallas
down
is
there.
30. Dallas is 31st. Dallas' defense is worse. Trust me. It's going to be an interesting game tonight.
All right. Speaking of that, that's a good segue, my brother. Cardinals at the Cowboys. Your thoughts?
It's just going to be a mess. I'm thinking about not even watching it because it's hard to pick somebody. Now, I thought Kyler Murray was going to be back, but he's going to miss tonight as well. So Brissett's still going to be playing. And he's done, their defense, the Cardinals' defense is like average. They're not bad, but they're not good.
They're better than Dallas.
They're better than Dallas's defense by far, because Dallas's defense in most of the categories, points per game, yards per game, most of those categories, they're in almost the last. They're in the bottom. There's only 2 or 3 teams worse than them in those categories.
Okay.
They can't stop the run. They can't stop the pass. They just gave up 44 points to Denver. And now they're not even 500. 31. They give up 31 points a game. They're 32nd last on third downs. They're bad. And I've never seen them this bad before. And they don't have an answer. Some of it's because they've had some injuries. Yes, okay. But everybody has injuries. And then Dak last week, you want to look at Dak, he was bad. He had a 51.5 quarterback rating last week.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Horrible. Threw 2 interceptions. But they're still second in points per game, the Dallas offense. Even with that horrible showing last week. After that, they're still second, 30.8.
But why do you think they're second? Because they don't have a run game.
No, they don't, because Dak's been throwing the ball. They've been throwing the ball and scoring. Tight end. They've been using the tight end quite a bit. They've been scoring a lot of points. They haven't stopped anybody because they've needed to score points because they haven't stopped anybody. But they've been good on offense, decent. And Dak has been pretty productive. He has been. The Cardinals, they've given up 24 sacks, which is 26th in the league on offense. Marvin Harrison Jr. got his daddy tweeting, talking about, I don't like what I'm seeing with this offense. Marvin Harrison was tweeting, I don't like what I'm seeing with all. He only averages like 56 yards a game.
Oh, man.
Catching the ball. He was a beast in college, man.
Yeah.
But they're not because you don't have a quarterback. Kyler Murray and Brissett, they don't get it done. Arizona defense, like I said, is average. They're tied for 13 in points per game. They're 6th on third downs. They're tied for 15th in the red zone. 27th in sacks, though they only have 12 sacks. And Josh Sweat has 5 of those 12 sacks out of Philly. It's tough. I think, given the fact that they gave up 44 points last week and lost to the Broncos, I think, and then they had a bad showing offensively last week. I think Dak is going to pick it up this week, and they'll probably win this game. It's going to be an ugly game. It's in Dallas. Neither one of these teams have a winning record. It's like just it's trying to pick the best of the worst.
Are you going to even watch the game?
I'm going to start out watching it, but I'm sure I'm going to fall asleep.
Okay.
I'm almost positive.
So the Cowboys at home, they always play a little bit better at home because they're front runners, like I told you. Yep. But that loss at Denver, they got to get that taste out of them. I mean, 44-24, they just got beat up.
Yeah,
Bo Nix and those young guys were just hungry, and they took it to them. The Cardinals, 5 straight losses against Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the game plan. I would throw the ball 50 times. I would air thing out.
That's all?
That's all it may take. That's all it may take. But I would air it out. I wouldn't even try to run the ball. I would drop back.
They have to. You talking about Dallas or you talking about the Cardinals?
No, I'm talking about the Cardinals. To make it a game or to compete, I would chunk it because their secondary against the pass, they're awful. So I would be chunking the ball all night. Dallas is giving up 250. They'll be able to do whatever
they want to do.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but that needs to be the game plan. Dallas is giving up 250 yards per game. Per game. So I just think that's the formula for them. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cardinals makes a game out of it. I'm not expecting Cowboys to blow them out.
No, I'm not either. It's going to be a game. No, it's going to be a game.
Okay.
It's going to be an ugly game. But I think Dallas will pull it out. 1, like you said, because they're home, and number 2, because I believe the bad showing that Dak had last week, I think he's going to come back from that.
Now, and to the point, Brissett, he was sit there in the pocket and pick them apart. If they don't come after him, he's been in the league long enough to know I can sit back here and I can pick this team apart. So he may have a big game. Whereas Kyler Murray will be trying to run and do things on the move. Brissett is a little bit different. So that may be to his advantage. So we'll see. I just hope it's a good game.
When was the last time the Cardinals had a team that was that made
Kurt
the
Warner.
difference?
Kurt Warner.
How long ago was that?
Oh, that was a minute. That was
The
a minute.
Cardinals I'm talking about. Kurt Warner was at Arizona? He was in Arizona?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Remember Fitzgerald? Yeah, Fitzgerald was his receiver.
Yeah, Fitzgerald. Remember Fitzgerald?
Yeah. So
Okay.
he had some good years.
I just remember Warner with the greatest show on turf.
Mm-hmm. But when he went there, one of his last stops, he was decent. He was half decent throwing the ball to Fitzgerald. So that's our Cardinals. So, well, that's all we got tonight. That's the Cardinals and the Cowboys. So we'll see. How about them Cowboys?
The Monday Night Football, y'all need to do better than this. The scheduling, NFL, y'all need to, look ahead and change this up.
No, they do this in the beginning of the year. It all looks good. So you're saying once the season starts.
Like I said, when's the last time the Cardinals were a formidable team?
Well, they got to put everybody on. They got to give everybody a shot.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well,
no, they don't.
I feel
because
that
there's
way.
some teams that get on Monday Night Football several times during the season. Not everybody gets. So they only have. There's 32 teams in the league. There's only 16. Was it? How many weeks is in Monday?
Yeah,
Night
but
Football?
why do we
17?
still see the same
18?
Ducks on Turkey Day, on Thanksgiving? We see the same people all the time.
Well, they should take some of those games like Monday night away from Dallas because they're always on for Thanksgiving. Right. And Detroit's always on for Thanksgiving.
And they're stinking up the place. They're still gonna be on though. So
yeah, yep.
I'd like to see some different people. They sprinkle them in there, but they have the staples that are on there every year. So
Jimmy Jones, not Jimmy Jones. What do you call him? Jones. Paying
did
money
you
for them.
did you ever get a chance to play on Thanksgiving?
Of course.
You did?
Played in Dallas.
Okay.
Miami.
That's right.
Played Dallas and Miami. That was the Leon Lett game.
That's right. I
Remember that game?
Yeah.
Leon Lett touched the ball and gave us the game. Thank you, Leon Lett.
Man.
That was on Thanksgiving. That was a different experience because that was in the previous stadium in Dallas where it had the hole in the top of the stadium.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this until it snowed because it snowed that day. It was Thanksgiving and it snowed, and there was only snow on the field. There was no snow. That's what it came through the top where the hole was, and only snowed on the field. It didn't snow on the sidelines, and it didn't snow in the stands. The field, the only thing that had snow on it was the field. That was crazy. That was crazy. I don't know if they built it like that on purpose.
Well, remember his whole saying was so God could watch his favorite team. That's why it was open at the top.
It was the top of the roof, or the opening in the roof was the same size as the football field, because when it snowed, it covered only the field. It was weird.
Well, I was with the Bears when we played Barry Sanders. He ran for like 200 yards. It was ugly. That was ugly. Remember, he had people spinning around. They always show the highlights.
That was on Thanksgiving.
Oh, that was ugly. Oh gosh. All right, man.
Thank God you weren't the DB. Thank God you weren't the DB.
Oh yes, man. All right, brother. Well, that's another show in the books.
Another wrap. Who's going to the Super Bowl this year? Right now, who's your MVP? No, you asked me, who's your MVP pick? Not necessarily it has to be a quarterback, but ain't nobody else really doing anything in terms of standing out as far as like running backs or anybody
there's
else.
no running backs, not like we had last year.
Standing out.
I'm looking at Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
Is he still? Yeah, but you don't hear. It's like going up and down, like everybody else.
Yeah.
He's hot and then he's just okay, and then he's hot for a couple of games, and he's just okay.
So they may change next week. So ask me again next week.
Okay. Who are they playing this week? You know?
No, not off the top of my head.
Okay. Matthew Stafford. Okay. Drake May. I like Drake May.
Yeah. Nah, ain't gonna happen. Hey.
No, I don't think so. I think just like you saw Daniel Jones, They got beat this week. As soon as I said something last week about the Indianapolis Colts and the best record in the NFL, what happened?
Down to earth.
They go lay an egg. Yep, God. Pittsburgh whooped them.
Hey.
They laying it. He all over the place, the ball, throwing interceptions, fumbling the ball. My God.
Wow. Hey, so let me ask you a question. You saw the Green Bay Packers uniforms, the old school.
Ugly.
They went way back. What did you think about those?
I thought it was ugly.
Everybody thought it was ugly. Everybody.
Yeah, no helmet, football helmet head, leather football helmet head. That was ugly. And they played ugly.
Yeah. And I think they probably
played like ugly. They look.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like Deion says. Deion says you look good, you feel good. You feel good, you play good. You play good, they pay good.
There you go, brother. Well, that's a wrap, man. Appreciate another week in the books. You got any shout outs there, Irv? Can you see the screen without straining at it? You look a bit like an old man. You're so funny.
I'm looking at my iPad. What, man? So it's Billy Bell and it's Eddie Casper. Richard Melton is still in the house. Shout out to you, Richard Melton. It's really just those guys, man. They keep putting comments in here.
I see a whole bunch in there.
My mom, there's a whole bunch of comments. The same guys. Dawn's still there. But it's those guys, our followers, our regular followers. I don't see any other people besides them.
Well, they're faithful.
Eddie Casper, Billy, but yeah.
Appreciate them.
They're with us tonight. Yeah, they're with us tonight. Every night. Thanks, Mom, for being on. Thanks, Dawn, for being on.
Yeah.
Yep. And I guess who said they're going to be at Dolan's tomorrow? Billy Bell. I'll see you tomorrow night at Dolan's, Billy Bell.
Man, take a picture and send me a picture, man, so we can throw it up here on one of these nights. Take a picture.
Take a picture of Billy Bell?
Adult.
Take a picture of Billy Bell.
At Dolan's. And,
okay, I'll take a picture of Dolan's.
We'll shout out Dolan's for him. Tell him to give you a free meal. You shout out Dolan's on the air.
I don't eat there.
That's a whole nother story how you said that. Don't leave that alone.
I don't eat there. I just, not because it's bad food.
I didn't say bad. You just said I eat there.
I eat more organic now than I've changed the way I eat. So they got burgers and stuff there, and I don't eat that stuff anymore.
Okay, that's respectful.
So that's wherever I go.
Okay, all right. Okay, well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's coming from Irving D. Fryar, and that means I don't eat stuff like that no more.
I don't, no more.
Appreciate you for watching White House World, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Michael Timpson. That's my brother, Irving Fryar, and this is White House World. Thanks for watching. We'll see you same time, same channel next week. Peace, love, and soul.
Boy, you funny.
This has been Whiteout's World. Touchdown. The legends. Irving Fryar and Michael Timpson. Are you freaking kidding me? If it's football talk you're looking for, I think we've got you covered. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, find us on YouTube at Whiteout's World. See you next time.
Let's go! Let's go! Go!